Welcome to Wrestling News and Opinions Reaction for SummerSlam 2015. And the second match of the evening, we had a four-way tag team match for the tag team titles. It's the primetime players, they're the champions, and they were defending their belts against the New Day, Los Matadores, and the Lucha Dragons. And New Day came out first, and I'll tell you, I've been a big New Day fan ever since the inception of New Day. I've always liked New Day. You could go back and watch my videos, or listen rather, and you'll hear me talk about how I like New Day. So anyway, they came out, and this was so awesome. Like, first, they were insulting the fans there in Brooklyn, right? Because they're heels, right? The thing about New Day is, though, I've always, thought that they're going to get over. It was just a matter of time. And we got to witness it here at SummerSlam as they got over just based off of their charisma, right? Whether that was supposed to happen or not, it was a matter of time. Like I've been saying, I always liked them, and I knew eventually everybody else would like them too, because they're just too talented and too charismatic. They have just so much excellent mic skills that you knew eventually the fans would come around to them. And it was a work of beauty. It was a work of art to actually behold, to see how they first go from insulting the fans, and then when they got in the ring, because they were saying, oh, you're all like dirty, unwashed, we're clean and everything, and then they got in the ring, and then they said New York don't know nothing about hip-hop, even though we all know that hip-hop started in the South Bronx, South Bronx, so we all know that. It was Cool Herc, back in the day. And so anyway, they were saying hip-hop started in A-Town in Atlanta, which, hey, Atlanta has a lot of, excellent hip-hop, but, of course, New York is the birthplace. And there's a lot of hip-hop throughout the entire world, but it all started in the South Bronx. But anyway, so they were saying that, so obviously the fans are going to be like, they're against them at this point, big time. They've been totally insulting them, like, really bad to say that. But then, when they went and they had their, pitch tool, they're like, all right, go to C pitch, right? And then they went and they did, like, how Jay-Z got the song. Well, they took that song, the song New York. I can't sing as good as New Day, but they changed it to New Day, and then they sang, and it was so awesome. And Biggie, man, it's so funny. He's like, "All those other tag teams are booty. Yeah, I just said booty. New Day." And before, Kofi was singing, and they were singing, and it was so good that the fans turned. Like, that's crazy. It was an amazing thing to see, from them insulting the audience so much, and then for them to turn them around just with their singing prowess, that the fans, when they heard them sing. And then too, they don't really think that hip-hop started in Atlanta. Obviously, they must, respect hip-hop to have that musical talent to do what they did there, which is really, I know that they were, like saying they're insulting Jay-Z, but it really actually, it's an honor for them to parody that song, which is a song that he, has sampled anyway, and it's the joint, Alicia Keys and everything. But anyway, so with that, the audience turned around, and the audience was then saying New Day rocks. But then we had the other teams come out. We had the Lucha Dragons interrupted them. The primetime players came out, and Los Matadores as well. And so they got the match underway, and this was a really good match. This is a match that I know a lot of people had, they had low expectations. They didn't really expect much out of this match. I knew it was going to be, a decent match, but it surpassed any expectations by far. They really stepped it up, and this match was awesome. I mean, it was a really good match, and especially after the way the show started. I know I didn't like the beginning with Sheamus and Randy Orton, and neither did the fans from their reaction anyway. But the fans were loving this match, and this was a nice way to get things, turned back around from, you got that match out of the way with Sheamus, and now SummerSlam's officially really going. It's exciting. It's awesome. There were so many cool spots in this match. It even started off, it was funny with Big E, And he ended up tagging, like, Kofi actually tagged Titus to tag himself in, and then Biggie went to pin Kofi, so they tried to, like, steal the match right away. That didn't work, but that was a funny thing, a very smart thing, awesome thing. I mean, it just goes towards New Day's charisma. They're just such great workers. So they were, going through this match, and there was some, pretty nice spots and everything. It was really exciting. They were beating the crap out of Darren Young, man. I'll tell you, Darren Young was taking some punishment. Friggin' Big E had him draped over, like, the side of the ring, and then he put all his weight down on him. I mean, that looked pretty vicious. I was like, oof, man, that had to hurt. He was taking some big bumps. Even later on, Big E got him with a pretty crazy move, too. But as this was going, right, Titus O'Neil ended up getting in on a hot tag, and he looked really good. It looked like Titus O'Neil, once he got in there, was clearing house. It looked like, like old school, like Diesel or old school Kane back in the day when Kane was the Big Red Machine and he was in his prime wrecking house. Like, Titus O'Neil, in my opinion, has a lot of potential. I think sky's the limit with him, as well as Big E. I think either of those guys have the potential to be the world champion in the future down the road. I've heard people say that this match, in the tag team division doesn't have stars. Let me tell you, I think everybody in New Day is a star. I think Titus O'Neil's a star. And even, Darren Young has potential as well. So, but he was taking a little beating, I'll tell you what, in this match. Yeah, Titus, man, he came in, he was wrecking house. He was really dominant. One thing I thought was a little odd, though, that when one of the Los Matadors came off the top rope, laying on like a body splash, and that was like enough to take him out. It's like, yeah, you were just being so dominant, and then just a body splash. Now all of a sudden you're on the ground forever. I mean, maybe he's gassed from doing all that offense, But anyway, so as the match was going, there's some cool stuff that happened. Like, they did a spot where it was Sin Cara was going for like a suicide dive. And then I can't tell the Los Matadors apart. I'm sorry, but, they're just identical. How could you tell who's who? I don't know which one's Primo, which one's Epico. Because, I mean, I just can't tell. They look so identical in those, with the masks and everything. I mean, that's the whole part of the thing, right? That's, part of their gimmick. But anyway, so, with, at least with the Usos, you could tell from the tattoos, which one's got on the left, which one's got on the right. But anyway, so, I haven't noticed any identifying marks on those Matadors, not looking that close, but anyway, so he ended up drop kicking Sin Cara when he went for that suicide dive. That was pretty crazy. But what was even crazier was later on, another spot where I was saying, with Darren Young taking the punishment, when Big E went for a suicide dive and just like tackled Darren Young, who was standing on the apron, through the ropes down to the ring. Oh man! And Darren Young, the way he landed, like on the side of his hip, like, oh man, that had to hurt. He was taking a brutal punishment. I mean, he was bleeding. When they had him in the corner earlier and they were just stomping the mud hole in him, it was crazy. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. And actually, right after that thing with Big E and Darren Young, when they dove through, then you ended up with the Lucha Dragons in the corner, and you had Los Matador. One of them was up there, and then it was like, did they botch this spot? I don't know, because he went flying off, and Kalisto looked kind of like, what? But then the other Matador got up there. It was kind of like, yeah, we got another guy. Go up there, you look just like him. Even though maybe that was planned. Like, people are always saying, oh, the botch and this and that. But you don't know. You don't really know. Maybe they meant to do that. You know what I mean? Because it is, a physical contest. Like, that's actually a more realistic simulation. But then people just think it's a botch, but maybe it wasn't. You never know. You don't know. Only they know, really. So, sometimes when a super botch, you can tell. But, I think people sometimes are a little bit too quick to call a botch. It's like everybody's just looking for it. And I'm like, I don't notice that many botches. But anyway, it kind of looked like it. But it still did not take away from what happened next at all, because this move was insane. It was like a pyramid bomb or something, man. Because Lucha Dragons are in the corner. They're going for a superplex on Los Matador, number 1 or number 2, I don't know. Primo or Epico, I'm not sure. But anyway, they're going for the freaking superplex on them. And then Titus O'Neil comes up, and he grabs the 2 Lucha Dragons and power bombs them as they superplex Los Matador. Oh my God, it was insane. That was just so awesome. I watched it like 3 or 4. I had to rewind. I was like, oh my God, that's what's pretty cool about, you can actually rewind it on the network. I watched it on Xbox, but man, it was pretty cool. So anyway, it looked like as if Primetime was gonna retain the titles. Titus O'Neil, he did the Clash of the Titus. But then Kofi Kingston came in, he kicked him, Big E slid him out the ring, Kofi covered, Los Matador, and they stole the victory, and they new champions, New Day, yes! I was so, man, when he pinned him, I was so happy, I was like, yes! I was like, alright, yeah, New Day won! And everybody was going crazy, I was like, yes, this is awesome! Finally, the fans have come around to the New Day, and recognize the charisma and the talent before their eyes. The New Day rocks. Yes. I'm telling you, that was awesome. And this is a match that I said, like, I knew it was going to be good. Didn't know it was going to be this good. And I'd say I heard a lot of people, talking that they had low expectations for this match. Well, I'll tell you what, man, this match was awesome. It really energized the audience and energized me. I was like, especially after that first match, to see this match was just like, yes, SummerSlam is on. This is what's up. I'm feeling the excitement. Let me know, though, if you're feeling that excitement, too, or maybe you have a different opinion. Either way, share your opinion in the comments section below, because I'm very interested to read your thoughts and opinions, whether you agree or disagree. I respect your opinion. And like I said, I'm interested to read them. I'll do my best to respond. Can't respond to every single one, because then it would just be a comment section filled with my responses. But I'll do my best to respond. Thank you very much for listening. See, I'm so excited. I'm like out of breath. Oh, man, this match took a lot out of me. It was awesome. Let me know what you thought, though. Thank you very much. Once again, it is appreciated.